and I'm doing it for my daughter.
And part of the reasoning is like this occurred to me when I asked my dad to sell me property, and he offered to sell me this piece of property that was probably like $150,000 worth of property for $400,000.
That's what he was going to sell it to you for?
Yeah. So
he's going to give you a good deal?
So his family hookup was to gouge me, to charge me like
top buck,
more than double what it could possibly have got. What Stefan Molyneux talks about a lot is there's one thing that's a very special point, which is the way that this is not really related to child molestation or Cain Velasquez, but is you should think about yourself as though you were, at times it is useful to think about yourself as though you were a child that you were taking care of. Okay? So your instincts, your unguided day to day, like you're going to McDonald's, you're whacking off, you're staying up late, you're doing all this bad stuff that's like harmful. And it's like the one helpful frame to think about that type of thing is, would I let a child do this? If I was taking care of a 4-year-old child, would I let them go to McDonald's? Would I let them pick their nose all day? Would I let them fucking play video games until they were like till 3 a.m.? All these types of things. Because it's like you can use certain types of logical construction like that to totally reframe things, and when you reframe it properly, it's like insane. It's like the way that you were doing it before is insane. It's like it's almost like doing it that way or living that way. It's like you were trying to do the most possible damage to yourself. Like how could you not even notice to see that? Anyway,
you think that naturally people are going to destroy themselves?
No. It's just if you have tendencies like that, it can be good to take a step back, and it's like remove your own self-destructive nature, and your if this is the type of person that you are, remove your like all your psychological pathologies, remove them from the picture, because thinking about what a kid should do, it's kind of absolute. Like there's no unless you're a Redditor, there's no situation where a kid should be like eating candy cane sandwiches or whatever the fuck your vice is, whatever your problem is. There's no situation where it's like, okay, Billy, you're 6 years old, you should do that. You should go ahead and be chatting with strangers on fucking Discord until you're like. There's no situation where it's the right, unless you're a Redditor, like I said, there's no situation where it's the right thing to recommend that to a child. So that's a helpful way of thinking about things.
Why a Redditor?
Because Redditors they live by a different code.
As a whole culture? As a whole,
it's the Bugman culture, Bugman society, which is a death cult. It's people they don't really care if they live. They fear the mechanical, like they have a weird relationship with death. They fear it on the one hand, and on the other hand, if society withers and dies, that's of no consequence to them. But their own personal suffering and their own fantasies about living forever, those are important. Bugman culture is very strange. Why would you want to live forever if the quality of your life is so low and so
yeah, is it? Do you think Reddit? Like, I think Redditors aren't like in the NPCs of the world. Like you don't see them. Like
yeah, they're rare to see out in
the public.
In the public, yeah, which is interesting because there's so many of them. I mean, if you go on the computer, it's such a pervasive mindset. And there's so many people like that. I think there's something inherently bad about constant, like limitless, unchecked socializing. Like it's almost like just by definition you're part of a hive mind, even if the hive is something slightly counterculture or interesting or whatever.
Has that ever been like a poisoned well on like a hyper bad? Like, has there ever been a Discord or like a subsect that's been completely like fucking Kool-Aid drank to like or something totally insane? Like
it's for the spreading of idea viruses.
Yeah.
Like it's really a petri dish for idea viruses. So when you're out in the open and you're like fully human, and there's you can feel the like delineation between your skin, the air, a tree, a city street, you're talking to other people. That's when idea viruses, I think, are the hardest to catch on.
Yes.
And then when you transfer your mind into a screen and you become what is on the screen, and there's you've been sitting there for so long that you're like physically desensitized. You like no longer even feel the chair, and all you're aware of is the fact that the screen is all of your reality. That's when I think idea viruses can take the greatest grip on you.
I'm with you. I know. I think I get what you're saying. That's why, like, when you lose your mind. When I was like 23, and I was like just like a normal construction worker, and within like 5 weeks, I'm like, loose change is real. 9/11, like full on. Like, what was the one? Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Like I watched Zeitgeist and became like I was in the metaverse. Where no, you don't understand. Everybody's a lizard. Like you're telling people that you just used to work construction with, that you were talking about like pallet jacks with. Like 3 months later, I'm like this, dude. The president's a bug, dude.
He's a spider.
Like what the?
He's a freaking spider. You can see it.
Okay.
Freeze the frame.
Okay.
Freeze the frame.
Okay, fine. You want real one? Okay, my boy's a union bricklayer, and he says that in the base of the State House, there's a fucking brick pyramid at the base of the dome. You know about pyramids, right? So now what? Like, and that's a conversation I've had in my life. After, to my friend who's a fellow Bobcat operator. And then they're just like, dude, I know what you're saying. Everybody's a little weird, but like, what the fuck? And you're like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I know, dude. Because fucked up shit happens all the time. That's like people's general understanding of zeitgeist and metaversian theory.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude. Like, Michael Jackson did some fucked up shit, but he wasn't the first one. That Woody Allen definitely had a weird relationship with his stepdaughter. He knows about that specifically. He's still working, though. No one said shit about Woody Allen.
He knows about shit he shouldn't know about.
Yeah, like that's the one thing
he's an agent. Yeah. He's put there to make it more realistic for you.
Listen, if Relativity Media wants to buy a 3-picture deal with Woody Allen in the summer of 22 for top billing, and Bill Murray just signed on for lead, dude, I'll tell you, that's insane that they're going to put $22 million in a project when the last 2 indie projects from A24 only netted $20 million opening on the box office.
PVC's heavy. If you get sheets of it.
Yeah, I'm running pecs. The 257 Bobcat tracks are lightweight and they don't make damage, especially if you're running subgrade, just subgrade material. It's not going to fuck up when you're done finish.
He's laying alternating blue and white bricks like the Epstein house.
Yeah. That's so funny.
He's just casually putting blue and white.
Like this
like a gold owl.
Yeah, I got to put the fucking owl all the way up there. That's the jobs. But he's talking about building an island.
He's bitching about it.
Yeah.
We got to get that fucking thing all the way up there.
Hey,
that's 45 feet. How are you gonna lift a 8-ton gold owl 25 feet?
The fucking lull with the extension, it's 4x4, but I can't get it close enough because there's a fucking drain pipe in the way that puts us 8 feet out. You do the math on the angle, I can't get it up there high enough. So now I got to put a ladder on a pallet on a lull. It's dangerous.
Oh, Tommy, cut the wheel. You're going to damage the owl. Back it up. Tommy, back up the owl. Cut the wheel.
The blood drain's not even in the right spot in the massage parlor room.
The logistics of constructing an sex dungeon.
Yes.
You know what's funny is
someone did.
I know. Yeah. You ever see the pictures, the behind the scene, like the FBI picture, the ones that were pre-FBI, like when they had the dentist chair. What's funny is the building itself. It looks like shittily constructed. It has the look of it of like when they show
Bohemian Grove,
Saddam Hussein's palace. There's like a huge, super expensive marble desk, and then like the walls are like weirdly like fitted. Like have you ever seen like pictures of like a Belarusian's house? Like Eastern Europe, like the construct.
It's
like
straight.
Like kind of like
it's off. It's just like off.
There's something off about it. Joey? Can you look up Epstein's palace or whatever? Not Epstein.
Little St. James Island photos.
Yeah. And also, Joey, what do you think about the Cain Velasquez thing?
It's pretty fucked up.
It's extremely fucked up.